See Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
It's time to introduce this show.
The best show on the face of the planet.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. We want to thank our Patreon producers, Brian G., Josh W., Ian D., Nick G., and Sadie M.
Patreon, it's an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to be an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
If being on the production team is too much pressure for you, you can also send any contributions using our Venmo at Everything at Once Studios. We now want to thank all the local businesses who supported this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval and are critical members of the Everything at Once community. We couldn't do it without them. With winter approaching, are there any last-minute details that you want to change or renovate around your home?
I might, but you know who to call.
Yeah! Ghostbusters!
No, Tony. No, not Ghostbusters. Solid State Construction.
Oh, yeah. Solid State.
Yeah.
Duh. Solid State takes pride in all their home remodeling projects. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, sidewalk, decks. Get your free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854. Solid people, solid product, Solid State Construction.
You know, Tony, with all these renovations from Solid State, I think we might have kicked up some bad energy around here. Yeah, oh yeah. Luckily, we know just the people to go see.
I know it this time. It's Ghostbusters.
No, Tony! Our friends at Cauldron and Thorne!
Wow. I feel really dumb right now, and I can't believe I didn't think of Cauldron and Thorne, the world's largest witchcraft and metaphysical shop, with everything a person needs to channel the spirit world.
Practice some self-care.
Find enlightenment.
Curse your enemies.
Protect yourself from your enemies.
Bless your friends.
Cleanse your space from negative energies. You can check out all the magical wares available at for these different practices we all love and enjoy at Cauldron and Thorne, 2724 West 8th Street, or online at cauldronandthorne.com.
This week, we have an incredible guest for you.
Yeah, there's
25%
people working on the movie.
My twin brother's name is Dave. My dad's name is Dave. My grandpa's name is Dave. My cousin's name is Dave. So I don't know what it is with all the
Daves.
Matthews and Daves. And we
Mass
got
and Daves.
two of them right here.
We got two.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't go by my nickname anymore, though. I used to go by Scrup Dog.
I used to
Scrup
go
Dog. Hell yeah.
Oh,
I'm a little too old for
we
it
left
now.
that life behind us.
Yeah, we did on the street.
Don't gotta be Scrub Dog anymore.
Hell yeah.
We're not on the corner whipping work like we used to be.
Whipping. I'll be in the kitchen stuck in stir fry.
That's right. 2020 Pyrex vision over here, dog.
Say less, man. You're triggering people. Over
Yo,
here.
watch out. Watch out. We're talking about drugs, people.
Hell no.
Thanks for coming down here today, Patty. We appreciate it. We're super excited to talk with you about your music, things going on in your world, the things going on in our world. It's going to be a great show. So You are in Spades.
I am in Spades. Me and Shelby are the original founders.
The OGs.
Yep.
I feel like I went to their guys' first concert ever at what's that gallery on 8th Street?
Art Lore Studio.
At Art Lore, yeah.
Love that. Steven's a great guy, man.
Blue Indigo or something like that. That was like the headlining band.
That was a funny story too, because they came and did that show, and these 3 girls were all the way from Michigan, and they're doing great, by the way.
That's awesome.
They are doing great. But when that girl, Elvis, with the Andromeda Studios, she had a short-lived promotion company, and when she printed the poster, it was like Spades, Blue False Indigo, and somebody else.
Nice.
And we're like, why are we the big name?
ones?
Yeah. I don't know. It must have just been a misprint.
Elvis is one of the homies for sure.
Oh yeah, OG.
OG, way back. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
5 years ago for sure.
Yeah, I knew Shelby because we had a couple classes together at Barron. And she's like, my band's doing a thing tonight. I'm like, okay, let's go check it out. And it was pretty legit, dude. I never heard of Blue False Indigo before, but I fucking love those. Was it 2 girls or 3?
It's 3 girls.
3 girls.
Really like a super alt folk Dixie chick.
It was fucking sweet. And it was a little spooky, too.
Yeah, they killed it.
It was great. And you guys did awesome, too. It was just you guys up there playing a bunch of covers, playing a couple originals. It was fucking the humble beginnings.
It was a 2-piece, doing little coffee shop stuff. My guitar, her vocals. Next thing you know, we're a freaking 6-piece band, man. You know,
6-piece.
4 Chafies in a row, 3 Celebrate Eries in a row.
That's what I'm talking about.
Raising money for the veterans. Speaking of that, we had a really rough year last year. Curtis Policia, good friend of mine, and George Tanner, a very, very good friend of mine. They were both veterans, and unfortunately they passed away. Curtis to a heart disease, and then George Tanner committed suicide. And
I was like, what, 6-9 months apart?
Something like that. It was
crazy.
So we're taking the band in that direction. We're gonna raise money for veterans. We already did a $5,500 fundraiser at the VFW that George was the captain of. So we're moving with it. That's what got to put us on the news on the last segment we were doing, taking care of all of that stuff. Unfortunately, the weather was too bad though.
The weather is a thing right now. It's unavoidable. But that's incredible, dude. When your second band member passed away, I was like, holy shit. Like, what is going on right here? How are these people, like, still persevering and still making music together? But I feel like you almost kind of have to at that point.
It is what it is. Life doesn't stop for anybody.
Right.
And death is inevitable. It's just a shame the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
No doubt. And I'm sure that neither of them would have wanted you guys to stop making music.
No. And I always tell that to people too. Like, my reflex is to say, yes, they've been replaced, but I hate that word because you can't really replace them. You know, they've been substituted. Someone has filled in for their position, but never replaced, never forgotten, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Those guys, I don't know. That sucks, dude. 2 band members. What instruments did they play?
George Tanner was a drum player. He also was in a really big band in town called Step and Pappy. They were big. And then Curtis Policia, he played the bass guitar, which was really cool because he just started picking it up when I moved to town about 5 years ago. And then, you know, working through the rings of the scene, found his way into our band. You know, and we had never had a full band, so he officially was our first bass player ever.
Cool.
But the people we've got that are in their shoes now are really taking care of us, and we're moving forward stronger than ever.
That's amazing. It's good to hear that people can just keep going, you know what I mean? And despite the loss, the creativity still flourishes with you guys.
That's right. Well, you can keep going or not.
Yeah, right? No thanks.
It's pretty black and white.
Yeah.
It's true.
Especially for a band that's been around for 5 years now. It's probably hard to put that shit to bed.
We got our thing going on, but how about you? Look at this. I mean, it started with just a little campfires in the backyard.
Yeah, dude.
And then the treehouse thing, and rest in peace, Justin Herbal. He was Jason was there with us for that last gig right before he passed away too.
Oh, no shit.
And now we got that big open mic competition going on every year in his name because that's how much of an impact he had. So it makes me happy that you got to have him here too as one of the memories of this
The tree
legacy you're bringing.
Yeah. That's how it all started too, was up in the treehouse at Tony Dave Palooza.
Tony Dave Palooza.
With Tyler Smilo and Spades playing up in the treehouse for my birthday and Dave's, I don't know, birthday.
Yeah. We'll call it a birthday.
Were you there for that, Dave?
Yeah, he was
yeah.
there.
No.
It was
I was on
Tony
the
Dave
I was
Palooza.
second billing on the Palooza.
That's
what
right.
we do.
Yeah.
Tony Dave
It was
Palooza.
actually my thing. You didn't know I was there. My bad.
Yeah. Shit.
Were you there? It's my fucking party, dude.
Right. Yeah. Shit's wild, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But that totally flourished and came into its own too, you know. Now we're doing the Unplugged, which you also been up there for the YouTube concert series.
Oh, that was lovely. I remember doing that. That was great.
That was
and
super
more
cool.
to come.
Yeah, for sure. Once the weather starts getting green again. Right now, all the leaves are off the trees, and you can see all my neighbors' houses. It doesn't look like it's up in the forest like everybody imagines it to be. Because really, we're like in the center of Erie, like dead center, smack dab, middle ass Erie.
Yeah,
and
right
everybody's
in the heart.
like... Everybody's like, oh, where's that treehouse at? Like, up in the forest somewhere? You got it, like, out of town, like, hidden away? I'm like, nope. We're here, right in the middle, in the center.
Yeah, there's a chain link fence around it.
Yeah, and that's it, pretty much.
Sometimes people mow their lawns and interrupt recording. You know, it's real.
Oh, yeah, it's classic.
You're going to start scheduling with your neighbors. We're like, hey, man, no grass mowing from 5 to 6.
Yeah, don't do it. Or let your dogs out. We've had that. I feel like that's a classic staple at this point, though. Like, somebody's got to, like, let their dog out, and it's got to bark a little bit in the fucking thing. It's just, like, part of the ambiance at this point.
It's kind of cool. Like, well, it's really cool when, like, sometimes the birds get to chirp and it's acoustic. It's like, that's a really nice touch.
yeah.
But when there's, like, the pit bull down the street, just, you know.
It's having a good time.
Well, I'm kind of torn between that because I can never get mad at the puppers.
Yeah, dude.
Dog
It's true.
lover.
Well, it's not the pit bull. There's like a hound dog, somewhere, like three. Like, yeah, dude. He just wants to sing too. I gotta respect it. I'm not mad about it. I think my one neighbor has like secret chickens out there too that I heard one time, or maybe I was just fucking tripping. But I
Possibly.
swear to God, there were some chickens in one of the videos. I don't even remember who was playing. I think it might have been L. Taylor, and the
the
chickens
show.
were just getting it. They were having a good time, dude. I really couldn't ask for better neighbors though. They let me do some ridiculous shit and don't ever like bat an eye at it. You know what I mean? Like we're the first Treehouse like concert or whatever that you guys played at and that Tyler played at. Went till like midnight and it was loud and none of my neighbors said anything. Nobody called the cops. Like it was totally chill and we kept partying. We just stopped playing music at midnight and I feel like that's pretty fucking fortunate.
Well, you know what you got going for you, Tony, is that, and I really praise you on this, is that a lot of your friends and in your community that you have hanging out around here, you guys are really big into the sober community.
Yeah.
You know, you guys been through that, got the T-shirt, threw it away, you know, so you can
It's
imagine
good.
how much more rowdier it could be.
Oh my god.
Oh,
right.
dude.
Oh dude.
And
Oh, wait.
so,
None of this shit would have been even
No.
been possible if I was still drinking booze and slamming drugs into my body like I was back then.
We
dude.
wouldn't- we
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
have
having
this
this
out
house,
the window,
be
she's
neighbors.
checking out what's going on next to her, like, oh, they're all just sitting down, hanging out.
chilling.
They're not getting rowdy at all.
Yeah, you want to call the cops and have them come out here? Like everybody's sober, everybody's chilling, we're having a good time. Like, yeah,
It's about as peaceful as it gets for a suburb get together.
yeah. Well, our one neighbor gets pretty wild sometimes. It hasn't been a thing for a while, but I remember like when we first moved in, it was like 3 a.m. and my girlfriend at that time was like losing her fucking mind. And yeah, dude. And we ended up like they were singing like Journey at like 2 a.m. as like wasted people tend to do, like the whole fucking song.
Don't stop.
Yeah, she's like in just a t-shirt, like climbing over our back fence over there
Just
to like
t-shirt.
yell at him. Yeah, that's it.
Heard
And then after that, they did it again, and I have like these speakers, like computer speakers, and we just put them in our back room and played death metal as loud as we could on them, and then they stopped.
Effective.
Yeah, dude, it worked out perfectly.
Oh yeah.
I think they got the message at that point because like they quieted down and then we turned the music down. Like everybody was cool. Nobody ever said anything. It was straight.
Oh, Kedavra.
Yes. This is how we kill a party. We play really obnoxious, loud death metal at you guys. And like point the speakers towards their backyard.
Every once in a while, being passive aggressive gets you what you want. You know?
That's right.
Right.
You got to be clever about it. Don't be a jerk, but be a dick.
Right.
You know?
It's a very delicate dance.
Indeed.
I can't believe you don't like listening to people sing Journey at 3 a.m. That's like,
Yeah, what is your problem, man?
Yeah, clearly I'm fucked up for not enjoying that.
what if it would have been like
was
Sweet
like-
Caroline or
It was
something
like
like that?
four wasted girls just
ba.
like screaming at the top of our lungs. It was like summertime too, and it was before we had AC open or AC on, so I got to imagine that like all of our windows were open and shit too, and we didn't want to close them because like it was hot and summer,
As you
and
should.
they're just like shrieking, fucking living on or whatever.
Living on a Prayer. That's
No.
Bon Jovi.
No, it wasn't living on a prayer. It's the fucking Journey
Don't
song.
Stop Believing.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's the song.
Rest in peace, Stephen Perry.
Yeah, thank you. Oh man.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, if I lived here, I'd probably be real pissed too. But
I
those
was
girls
like,
were just
whatever.
living their best
Yeah.
lives.
Well, my girlfriend at that time was kind of like she was a big crazy dude. Like,
Just a little bit.
like heavy on the crazy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Extra crazy. I like them stabby, dude. I don't know about you, how your relationships are, but I tend to attract girls that are a little stabby, and I enjoy that.
I get a little. I like the girls who are a little smacky, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I've made a pledge to myself that I'll never date a professional athlete because I've got the tendency to say some things that might catch a backhand. Could you imagine
boy.
if I was dating Serena Williams? It'd be over.
Goodbye.
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 Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah.
I kind of like the walk in the house and there's a 50-50 chance that all the windows are blacked out and we're crying for the day.
Shut
That
it
was always an
down.
option. The windows were never blacked out, but like coming home and just people up in arms and distraught and about seemingly nothing wasn't out of the ordinary at that time in my life. But
Well, the girl I'm with right now, and I knew that she was the love of my life, was because I went out and partied a little too late and forgot about some dinner plans we had.
Oof.
And you know the cliche where you walk in the house and she's sitting there in a dark room with a candle lit and a cold ham dinner.
oh shit,
You know, almost to the T, exactly what happened. I
man.
came in.
You knew
I
you
was
were
like-
fucked, dude.
She said, "Hey, where you been?" I'm like, "Oh." No,
but you're still together.
absolutely, and she'll never let me forget that night either.
I'm sure, as she shouldn't, dude. That situation would have went completely different for me because I wouldn't have been allowed to forget.
Oh yeah. Well, that I say about women, they might forgive, but they won't forget.
Yeah, she would absolutely not have forgotten or let me forget that was happening, and there would have been 1,000 phone calls and texts and all this other shit, and that was just not a great time in my life.
So what do you got going on now? You got
Well,
a new girlfriend? This
yes.
is not the same woman we're talking about.
No, not the
You've
same. This
upgraded
new
to
one's
a
good.
Finer tier of loving.
Yeah, absolutely. This is
Right
like
on.
the chillest, healthiest, happiest relationship I've ever been in by fucking miles. And she's super smart, and I would trust her with like anything that I ever needed someone to do, really, which is I think incredibly important. She's super capable, and just a very good girl.
I love
and
that for you.
I don't have to. She's not very stabby either, which
Or
is like a
Minimal stabbage.
many stabbiness, but I feel like I'll gladly trade the lack of stabbiness for like a little bit of mental stability. You know,
For
I didn't
that.
realize how nice that was. You know, at that
It's-
time, I just thought all girls were stabby. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
slippery slope, man.
It goes down quick. And I just thought that was the way all relationships were. Like, yeah, of course my girlfriend wants to stab me sometimes. That's like what having a girlfriend is all about.
Yeah, you see that in a lot of aspects in life. You know, it's things you get used to, and you're like, well, I thought everything like that was like this. And then, you know, piece by piece, you keep living and growing.
Right.
And then, whoa, that's an option?
Yeah.
What have I been doing?
No, totally, dude. And with that experience comes a lot of changes and realizations about what's important in your life and what you want to be doing and what you're passionate about.
I just hear that the fellow who covered the Black Sabbath was like, I'm going through changes.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all changes too. Nothing is permanent ever. You know what I mean? And if there is something out there that you don't like, all you guys who are watching or listening, go out and fucking do something about it, because it's your life, and you have that agency to be able to change those things that you don't like about yourself or about your situation or whatever the fuck's going on in your world.
Something is going to change eventually, whether you do anything or not, and it's always better to take the initiative and make that change yourself.
There was a one-liner. I was a hard drug user. I used to smoke crack cocaine in my early 20s, almost a decade ago, and I really messed my stuff up. It got real bad, and just a single one-liner from my twin brother turned me cold turkey, quit, done. And what he said to me when I was coming to him with all my problems, he was just like, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
That's exactly
Dropped
right.
the mic, walked away, and left me where I was. And gosh darn it, I got it all together right after that. Just such a simple, fruitful statement, you know?
No, for sure. And a lot of times it's really easy to sit in that shit, you know what I mean? Whether it's addiction or depression or anxiety or whatever it is.
Or all three.
Yeah, or all three.
Many times it's all three.
Exactly. And it's really easy to sit in that shit, and sometimes it's really hard to step out and actually do something to make those things better. You know what I mean?
And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, life is an amazing thing, and we're out here trying to live it to the best of our ability. And a lot of times, you need somebody like that to tell you things that seem blatantly obvious in hindsight. Like, obviously, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You know what I mean? It's not the words of some like high-spirited monk that's living out in India on a mountain by himself off like 5 grains of rice. It's just like...
No, it's just your blue-collar homie telling you what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just gotta listen and take the initiative to do something about it. So, we've been talking about a lot of random shit. I want to hear about your music, though. What kind of music have you been playing lately?
Let's talk about it then. So, as we discussed earlier, my band, Spades, it's
6-piece band.
6-piece, beautiful. We had 2 guitars, bassist, drummer, a pianist, and lead singer. It's going really well, really smooth. Like I said earlier, we have
Come up on that mic a little bit for me.
We played quite a few music
There
festivals, quite a few city events. We're trying to do a lot of money. Fundraising money for veterans and crisis prevention and suicide awareness. And then also on the side, on the side, I have my own original music going together. And I call it a 2-chord Willie.
2-chord Willie. What are the 2 chords? Oh,
I
can't
guess
give
you'll
away
just
the
have
secret,
to,
dude.
you gotta listen to find out. If you know, you know.
You can't give away the secret anyway.
What
But
about
it's,
Willie? Why is it Willie?
Well, there's a expression in the musical world whenever you come into a studio and instead of taking multiple takes for recording, they call you a one-take Willie.
Oh, there you go.
Show up,
You
show
just do
out.
it right.
Everybody in the band spends 6 hours there. You show up, get it done, and get out. One-take Willie. So I call it 2-chord Willie. That's kind of where it was based off of.
I like it.
And so it's a really folky, simple, chill, bluegrassy, folk, punk, country style music, and it's all original, and it's very different. I wish I could play some for you guys tonight, but we'll have to get to that another time.
Yeah, dude.
Treehouse.
Treehouse. Once the trees get green, we'll have you up.
We'll definitely do a treehouse for that. So I've been working on it and trying to get back to it because I got distracted. I was playing in that band Veronica, now known as Veronica. You know, I was in earlier in my career when I came to Erie, I was in Aria and the Voiceless, and then Spades formed, and so I kind of lost where I was going with my own music.
Sure.
But here I am now, ready to go. I'm in the middle of building a studio in my home.
Hell yeah.
It'll be lovely, and hopefully I'll have to have you guys come over there and hang out and get some jams and chilling going on.
Love it.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, definitely down for that. But you shred on guitar, so like the metal background kind of makes sense to me.
Indeed. I started off playing nothing but Zeppelin, Metallica, Trivium, Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage, and then everyone sees me just playing really heartfelt blues and stuff, and I'm a transplant. I'm from South Florida, Sebastian, Florida specifically, so everyone up here is kind of a new friend, you know?
Sure.
One of which is Shelby, which we've met on a regular basis every week for the past 5 years since I met her, but it's really weird to see a lot of my friends back home saying, like, bro, is that what you're on now? Like, man, what happened to you? I'm like,
Yeah, where?
trust the process.
Right.
Trust the process.
Right, and I think that there's the same level of like emotion. Like it's just a different kind of emotion, and to be a technical, talented guitarist doesn't have to be like playing sick ass metal riffs on heavy
Right.
distortion all the time either.
One of my greatest influences in my life was a mentor I had. His name is Thomas Mall. Small world. He taught me in the bad kids class in high school.
Oh, nice.
But that was where, I was in the ALS program, and they sent me over to this one class, and we would watch like Joe Dirt and Sanford and Son and stuff, like, and just take a whole period, and eat snacks, then go back to our ALS program. But then he started taking me out on the town. Sorry, Tom, if you ever see this, don't mean to call you out, but I was young. I was like 17. He would take me out to the bars and get me going. And then it developed into, I got this award for actually graduating high school, but it was an award from the National Exchange Committee called Accepting the Challenge of Excellence. I thought it was a little weird because they had tiers to it, like you would win your local, then your county, then your state, then your nationals, and all it was like, I was just cutting school and eating mushrooms, and then all of a sudden just made up all of my credits in a year. And
There
they're
you
like,
go.
here's a plaque. And then I'm going up in the competition about who's got the bigger sob story. And I got Banana Boat Cuban kids coming in. I was like, I'm not going to compete with that. But they actually helped me make a guitar club. I got a $35,000 grant and built 3 guitar clubs in every high school in my home county.
That's crazy, dude.
Wow.
All 3 of those high schools still have it as an elective credit.
Fuck yeah.
I embezzled a guitar for myself, kinda.
Attaboy.
Sorry, National Exchange Club, come at me. And we did all of that, but the craziest part about it is what he taught me is, 1, you need to write in the morning before the world gets in your way. And 2, don't let anybody get the best of you whenever you're trying to do what you got to do. And that was the whole thing. And back to the start of this conversation, small world. That was in Sebastian, Florida. Thomas Mall grew up here in Wesleyville.
Oh, no
He
shit.
went to the Lawrence Park Diner, where one of my bosses used to own it when he was 21. So isn't that just like a full circle mind fuck,
It's
Yeah,
weird.
that's crazy.
That's the kind of shit that makes me believe in God.
Dude, amen, bro.
Right.
Amen.
Like coincidences and things like that just are too synchronistic for me to not believe that they weren't like somehow just put there, you know what I
Right.
mean, by some ultra powerful force. I'm not talking like fucking old man in the clouds type shit, more like the universe is just doing things that
Absolutely.
I don't fucking understand.
I feel like everyone who hates on that type of idealism are also the same people who have been presented with opportunities and not stepped on it and recognized it in the moment.
Right.
So then it means nothing to them.
Yeah.
But as I just plainly explained, like, dude, no
Yeah.
way, bro.
Right.
No way. There's
No
something
chance.
going on.
And there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of people who look back on situations and like, oh, that could have been me. You know what I mean? That could have been me in this position. They see somebody else and and they're like, I had that opportunity too, but I squandered it. And then they get bummed and bitter and fucking resentful, and instead of counting their blessings and seeing the things that are in front of them and the opportunities that are still there, people get hung up on that old bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think squandering is a really big word in my life, because all of the things that I try to stay pertinent into really keeping my attention on and making sure I maintain that detail in my life is because I've learned the lesson of losing it all before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go through that, man, just to teach you.
For sure.
Can't teach life, you got to live it.
Gotta live it. And learning how to be grateful is an incredibly important thing. I think in anybody who's remotely happy or satisfied or living a good life, part of that is having the gratitude for that life, or
Absolutely.
they're gonna lose it, or they're gonna be fucking miserable, you know.
Humble yourself.
No doubt. So now 2 chords, fucking playing some folk shit. All your
yeah.
old homies are weirded out. They're like, what the fuck is going on with Patti?
Yeah.
He's not playing Trivium and angry fucking metal anymore. He's playing some soulful blues on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I'm bringing it out. There's a lot of songs that I have on that EP that are very important to me. A couple of the song titles, like "Get the Fuck Out of Dodge," as an expression all about getting up and leaving when you got it's
That's an old
time
song
to go.
too.
It is.
I feel like I've heard that one before
Yeah.
when I've seen you and Spades play.
It's probably one of my oldest songs. I wrote it when I was in my early 20s in a homeless shelter, and one of the preachers gifted me a guitar when I didn't have one. And then once I got it, boy, I had blisters on my finger every night because there was no going out. I wasn't even allowed to leave the property there.
Yeah.
So all I had was just me and that guitar. But
That's
when
nice.
I got out of that place and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I got another song on there called "An Undesirable of the Opposite Sex." And I mean, just kind of clever wording for really, really moral messages. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll get you to spin it on here. It's coming soon. Hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah. I feel like those kinds of dire situations bring out the best in a lot of people as far as their creativity goes and their ability to learn and practice something. Like I have that the MIDI over there, and at first I was like super excited. I was playing it a lot, like every day, and it's gradually like tapered off because I've lost that motivation that I had when I initially got in, and that's why it's like really important, I think, to take advantage of those situations where you're blessed with like a bunch of time or limited options to do anything else, and all you have is one thing, and you just dump onto that thing, whatever it is, whether it's learning guitar or writing songs or playing piano,
Riding a skateboard.
shooting
Every
hoops.
flavor you could think of.
Yeah, whatever it is, take advantage of those times when you're driven to do something, you know what I mean? Because once that drive is gone, I'm not like a super disciplined person. I do some shit that is intentionally difficult to practice discipline, and intentionally things that I don't want to do, but it is definitely a challenge to maintain that over like a long period of time.
I think
to get good at like an instrument or something like that.
I think that oftentimes, not every time, there's people that are just like extremely gifted or extremely lucky, right place, right time. But usually in like skilled disciplines, whether it's music or arts or sports or whatever, the separation between people who are good and people who are great are the ones who go at it every day, no matter how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Personally,
That's right. No, you're not wrong on that. No, many people share the same belief, man. You get out what you put in, But don't think that just because you lost a little bit of motivation for this, that you're not a motivated individual, Tony.
Right.
Look at what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we've been doing this for like over a year now too.
Yeah.
It's just things come in waves, and riding those waves rather than trying to make your own waves is a fucking lot easier,
A lot easier.
Nah.
And Dave, you're right on that, dude. You got to make sure you stay focused every day. Stay focused, put in the work. I mean, you guys got it going on down here. I was actually a little bit impressed.
Oh, thanks.
I came
Thank
down
you.
here and saw all the switches and knobs and chords. I'm like, oh, these guys know what they're doing, kind of down here.
We're trying, dude. I want to start recording more music down here too. We made one song like last year, probably like right around this time, and we recorded it all in house, and it was super fun. And we used like half the mixer this is, and it turned out pretty good. I mean, there are definitely things that I'd like to go back and change, or I don't know, maybe not go back and change, but things that I recognize now that were not done in the best way, or have the best like sound or whatever. And I've been waiting for a time where that's more of a possibility than right now, because we're like all in on this movie. We're doing podcasts, about to be spring soon, so like
Shia
the
LaBeouf.
treehouse shit's gonna come on. Yeah,
You said tomorrow, yesterday.
right.
God,
But it's all just a matter of time, and it's like having those opportunities available, you know what I mean? And I think that's where like a lot of the other side work that people don't really see, like they see you go up and play your music and you're talented and you shred on guitar, and then they obviously know you practice, but you have to put the work in to allow yourself that time to practice.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
And you got to forget, I mean, I'm a young homeowner. That's work. I have a relationship that I'm
Right,
putting
that's
work
work.
into. One that I finally found that's worth putting into. Thank God. I have, I have to make money and survive. I got to pay
No
my
doubt.
bills, and then I also have to find time to decompress and relax for myself.
Right.
Fortunately, I've picked a hobby / trade / side profession, whereas practicing my guitar actually is decompression and meditation.
No doubt.
And I know a lot of people have side hustles, and all it does is cause them more stress because it's
Yeah.
just more work. Whereas I'm doing self-medicated music therapy, so I have that going for me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm still here. Honestly,
And I think a lot of those side hustles too get turned in, or like hobbies get turned into side hustles, because so many people feel like they need to monetize every aspect of their life.
well,
You know what I mean? If it's not making money, if it don't
Right.
make dollars, it's not making sense.
well, gosh darn it, that's the world we live in. $3.75 for gas. Can't get milk, eggs, and bread for less than $10. Gosh
dude.
darn it, where the hell is it? Where are we
Yeah.
going to?
How can you not in this economy?
How can you not?
I mean, at the same time, if you like making music and you like performing it for people, I mean, it's just an added bonus getting a couple dollars
Right.
for it.
I feel like any passion, once you get good enough, people are going to pay you to do.
Indeed, as long as it's a people pleaser passion.
Right.
I'm scared though, man. I really am scared because more or less the band has a 5 to 10 year plan, and it is well on track.
Good.
God bless Shelby Rose Conkling. Love
Yeah.
you, girl, for pushing this all forward. But if we were ever to get into the situation where we do get picked up by a record label, we do get signed on to do contracts, we do get per diem and payment and company funding for transportation to move around the tri-state area twice a year to do a tour.
Right.
Next thing you know, I got the man putting his thumb down on what was like my release.
Right.
And now I'm being pressured to do it. I might bite back a little bit, honestly, but as long as we still just keep bringing our dreams into fruition, I think I can bear it.
Yeah, that's always a question we kind of talk about as far as like bands getting signed. Like, what if they told you couldn't make, like, yeah, we love Spades, but we don't want you doing any more of your solo shit, your bluesy folk shit.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for the rest of the band on here, but no. No, but also the bluesy folk stuff, that's more of my gig. Our
Right.
band is more of like a hard rock alternative type thing, but yeah, definitely having somebody. Many times I've witnessed having no artistic bones in their body trying to criticize our art and how we're supposed to project it or expect it to be received. And it gets a little wishy-washy in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, how can you look me in the eyes from behind your desk? You
Tell
know,
me how to do my
and tell
fucking
me
job.
how to do my fucking job, bro. Because America, motherfucker.
Right. No, I totally feel that on a lot of different levels when I hear it's like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's valid, and there's definitely people who give criticism that I respect. But every now and then it's like, who the fuck are you to tell me how to do my podcast or my movie or my whatever the fuck? That's always been like a personal pet peeve that I never really realized when I was younger. I just thought, like, I don't like fucking teachers and adults or anybody that's ever trying to tell me what to do. But
I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
that's right. Yeah. Stuff like that, dude. And
It depends if it's educated criticism for me. Like
Absolutely.
if it's someone that absolutely knows what they're talking about, it's a lot different than some idiot who just is either jealous or
some Hollywood pop knocker.
yeah, or something else. You know, they project on other people because they got their own shit going on in their life they don't know how to deal with.
For sure.
But educated, constructive criticism, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. And I've always kept an ear open. You know, I've kind of blessed myself with the ability to learn from the others around me and their mistakes in my lifetime.
no doubt.
Still got to make your own mistakes, but I know good wisdom when I see it because I've seen so much bad wisdom. It kind of helps you know the difference.
Yeah. And being able to tell that difference is such an important thing to learn. And sometimes going through those rough patches and seeing the shit that you do not want to be like. Weird.
Callback. You can't teach life. Gotta live it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And
But sometimes it's good to get some advice from an old head
Oh, yeah.
who can see exactly where you're at
That's
and
right.
like see them as like a younger version of themselves, you know?
And
like
I've picked up a lot of that over the years too. I've spent a lot of time running around in the dive bars and stuff, learning music and how to get around it. But I think the world is changing so dramatically that when they give us this advice, sometimes they don't realize how different it really is for us too.
Right.
But if you have that filter in your mindset too, it kind of makes it come in a little more even.
yeah. Makes it a little bit more understandable when you recognize that,
it's
like,
relatable.
yeah. And things are so much different than they ever have been in the past, you know what I mean? You got social media, you got TikToks, you got Spotify. Nobody's buying music anymore.
All
Well,
our folks are 40, 50, 60 years
Dude,
old in
yeah.
our age group, but the dramatic of the change in just 20 years.
yeah.
God, let's not get on that.
Yeah,
let's
it's
not.
crazy.
It's sad.
It's crazy. And to see that people still don't understand things that our generation and younger generations view as like so commonplace, you know what I mean?
I'd imagine the toughest thing as someone who is a public figure is like the total diminishing of like a private life or being able to make mistakes
Oh, yeah.
because you're a
You're under a
human without it getting
microscope.
put on blast for everyone to see.
Right.
For
and
sure.
you piss off the wrong person and you're going to have like,
Well, what are you guys going to do when
50
you
mil-
blow up?
well, I don't know.
We'll figure it out when that
Figure
time
it out when it
comes.
happens,
We'll
yeah.
figure it
Well,
out.
if you guys keep working at it, I think you got a good thing going on here.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, when we blow up, hopefully at that point, I can find some level in between of not giving a fuck and giving just the right amount of fucks to be able to have a high degree of freedom that I don't have to care about what other people think enough that my community or my audience or my whatever knows when I'm fucking around, because I feel like that's the only time that I ever
you
really
even
get
know
in
me?
trouble. Yeah, like I can say
guess
some
not.
off the wall fucked up shit from
Do you
time
even
to
know
time.
Dave?
Yeah. But like being able to recognize when I'm kidding and when I'm serious is something that, you know, could get you in trouble if the wrong person sees it. You know
But
what
just
I mean?
like Dave was saying, man, if you get put on that spotlight, there's people following you. They're watching you. Like they know things you don't know is gonna be happening for
Right.
you. You know.
I feel like if I ever blew up, I would have my famous Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette and like heavily sighing meme of a moment, you know, like,
I dreamt of Paris yesterday.
just be like, these fucking people,
These
dude.
fucking
Like, he
idiots.
sees them taking a picture of him, and he doesn't have the energy to do anything except just go, Jesus Christ.
That's the way she goes, though. Hopefully it gets to that point, though. Because once you get that stage, it doesn't really fucking matter anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, at least get up there and take a taste of it. If you don't like it, come right back down here to the basement. You know? But at least you
boy.
can say you made it, you know?
Right.
Brushing shoulders with the same cats, you know?
Yeah, it's just a big difference between trying to attract a new audience versus having an audience that knows and is going to be there and is loyal. You know what I mean?
Well, you got some diehard fans. I was looking through the followers on there, and I'm like mutual friends with a couple hundred of them. You know what I'm saying? So
We're continuing to grow. You know what I mean? We're up to like 15K or not
1,500.
Yeah,
1,500
Yeah.
followers on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Not 15K.
you're
And
getting
like,
there.
like 400 on Instagram, and it's just, and like, dude, this movie is like fucking sold out. I keep trying to tell my friends, like, you guys got to get
Yeah.
tickets because this is like basically sold out at this point. Like, we're really dependent on like what the capacity and how many chairs are going to be in here, but it's like going to sell out. And if you don't get your tickets soon, because I know a lot of you are saying you want to come, maybe you're just saying that. But I believe that a lot of them want to come and want to be a part of it and be there. And I'm going to have to be like, sorry, bro. Like, it's sold out.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We were just getting ready to talk about your movie and
Oh, the movie,
yeah.
dude, that it's going to sell out.
It's very
gonna
precedent.
fucking sell out. Get your tickets. It's probably too late by the time this comes out. So I hope you guys all got your tickets that want to come. We'll probably sell a little bit, like, once we figure out what the actual capacity is and we get a little bit closer towards release time, we'll probably have, like, at most, like 20 more tickets available.
Let's talk about that. Where is it coming out at?
We're gonna premiere it. It's gonna be July 19th. I don't really want to say where it's gonna be yet. I don't really want to say a hard July 19th just because I haven't signed the paperwork and put the down payment on the space yet. But we do have a space. It's all lined up.
Nice.
It's probably gonna be July 19th, which is a Friday. And once everything's signed, I'll feel better about saying, because I don't want to fucking eat my words and be
And this
giving
is,
people false shit.
It's a short film.
It's a short film.
Short film, probably like originally we saw 20-30. After reading it with our cast, we're thinking more like 30 to 50 minutes, somewhere around there.
It'll probably be closer to 30 than 50, but
Yeah, like around 40-ish.
probably.
Well, I'm starting to check it out. I'll have to message Shelby, see if we can make a bro date, come down there and
Yeah,
be right there with
Roy
you.
X gonna be in the movie.
Roy X in the movie?
Roy X in the
Oh.
movie.
Royx in the movie.
Matt fucking Roy.
Of
course he is.
He's gonna be the perfect character. He's gonna play his character perfectly. It's gonna be amazing. It's like a suspense thriller horror movie, and we're trying not to give away the whole thing.
Yes,
but
let's
his
not.
character he won't even really have to act. He'll just have to be himself, and that'll be basically perfect for
Yeah.
his character.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Just be
Yeah.
cheerful and lovable and excited, and it'll be spot on. You'll do great.
That man brings so much beautiful energy to the stage.
Yeah.
When we play together, it is over the top. And there's a couple riffs that he's written over our older material after, Curtis passed away. Mm-hmm. And sometimes like he'll hit it, and we all know that was the lick. And when I turn, I see Logan, Shelby, and Lizzie all go at him at the same time. Like it's chef's kiss bass work.
Hell yeah.
He's killer.
No, he's a really good dude. I've enjoyed the times that I've spent with him for sure. I'm excited to have him as part of this cast too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna be in it, and that's why we have like 3 Matts. We have Matt Craze, also shares a bunch of band members with you
Love
guys.
Matt Craze.
Yeah, Matt Royak and Matt Bolin. So I'm just gonna call them
you
all
got
last
Matty
names.
B in there
Yeah.
too.
Matty B's our sound engineer.
I almost want to come do a cameo, make it the quadruple.
I don't know if we could even stand that, honestly.
Yeah.
That's head
3
explode.
is already too much. If they were 4,
Eminem.
yeah. No, he's not in the movie. We'll probably have him cameo or be like an extra in a scene. Me and Dave are going to be extras in some scene or somewhere, like little Stan Lee shit. You
gotta hit him
pop
with
in
the
there.
Quentin Tarantino.
Right, yeah,
Gotta make a statement.
And but he's our sound engineer. He's gonna make sure that we have fucking top tier audio and Foley and sound effects, and he's gonna write some music for it, give us an original score, and compose some shit. And I'm really excited. He's part of the crew too.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where did you guys do a lot of your sets? Is it all local, or did you travel kind of far out for some of the scenes? Or?
So we actually haven't recorded any of it. We're just starting rehearsals right now. Our primary set is out in the country. That's where most of it's going to take place. The rest is going to be around Erie. So different locations around Erie. One of our friends is letting us borrow their house for a scene or two. And the rest are going to be in like public spaces around here, sidewalks and different areas that people can just go to for different things. But yeah, it's all local actresses and actors, all local everything. It's going to be great. And we're going to win the Erie Horror Fest. And at least one of the categories. Maybe we'll take home all 3. We have the potential to win 3 categories.
I think you got this.
Yeah.
There's another fella in town. He's a small film creator. He's trying to get big. He just released that Five Nights at Freddy's fan film movie. It's cool. They debuted it at Basement Transmissions, and they filmed it at Playport.
Oh, nice.
And that was cool. And then the actual Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out like 6 months later, so I think that might have canceled him out because it's killer.
I don't know who that is. I've met like quite a few other film production crews. We had Liam from Oddity Productions. They've done a couple different films. I just met this other dude who owns Ma Production. They do like some different horror stuff. And we've had the people from Menagerie.
Our buddy Jesse James.
Our buddy Jesse James, who also does a bunch of different film stuff around here.
I know Jesse. He's a cool kid.
Yeah. Everybody that does this kind of stuff, I think, generally is pretty interesting human beings. And it's just good to see this kind of community flourishing around here.
And I've noticed that about Erie, man. What a deep-rooted, strong underground we have, you know?
Right.
Nothing's,
just the Erie scene.
Yeah, but if you start digging around, it's like, whoa, there is stuff happening in this town, man.
Yeah, things that people have never even heard of either. It's
Yet.
all
Yet.
Yeah,
To be
it's out
announced.
there. It's out there. It's just a matter of finding it, and we've been able to run into a few people, and that's kind of what inspired all of this, is watching some of the other local companies make films and see them do this kind of stuff, and just going for it ourselves.
There's a lot of resolve in these Rust Belt towns.
Right, bringing the arts back to life. Plus, I think that hard times make good people, you know what I mean? And Erie's been through a lot of hard times over the past, I don't know, as long as I've lived here, 30
100 years.
Last 100
Yes, sir,
years.
yes.
Erie's not really been super poppin' town with tons of money and affluence and all those other things, so it's good to see them being embraced now like they have been over the past couple years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You moved to Erie at a good time.
I really did, but I keep hearing these things about what Erie used to be. It had its height. It kind of took a dive or so.
Yeah.
But I don't see it that way. It's only been growth since I moved here, so.
Well,
in
it comes in
different ways.
waves, man. There's throughout, because I've lived here just about my whole life, and it comes in waves. We'll have like 3 years of awesome bands, nationally touring bands coming through, and all the local music and all this shit. And it's interesting because really I would measure the quality of our music scene by like the number of nationally touring bands that would come to Erie for a long time. Mm-hmm. And since we started this podcast, we've really started to embrace like the local scene and the local music a lot more. And
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was part like one of the big goals of starting this podcast was to offer people a platform to talk about the things they're doing from all the different arts and music, business, whatever. So, like, naturally, we've been drawn more into that scene and, made a bunch of friends along the way that we want to support and go to their shows and all that shit.
It's definitely a renaissance with the local bands. I mean, if you get an old head talking about like the Erie Field House from like back in like the 70s and 80s, they had like Ozzy Osbourne in his prime here, and like, real big huge bands. So as far as like the national acts go, it probably, that was probably the peak at this point. It's weird. It's more of like, well, I guess it's not weird. There's a lot of green space outside the city, but this is definitely, at least on a major act stage, more of a country town than it is anything else. Like, they bring in some pretty decent sized country stars, but
we got the Warner, we got the Erie Insurance Arena. I know Theo Vaughn and Bert Kreschner as comedians. Theo came, Bert's coming.
Right.
But then we also have Breaking Benjamin this month, so.
Yeah.
But that's it for national.
I think
Bob Dylan was here. I mean, he's old, but.
So a lot of the national touring bands that I really like, I wouldn't really consider them like arena bands. You know what I mean? They're like smaller shit. Like, there was a lot of metal that like filled up Basement Transmission, and they're like 500 capacity, you know what I mean? People that you'd see at like the Grog Shop or the Masonic Temple or Town Ballroom, places like that are a little bit bigger, or Mr. Smalls down in Pittsburgh. I just went through like the 3 different ones that are around here, like would stop here on their way from Cleveland to Buffalo or Buffalo to Pittsburgh or whatever and play a show down here.
It's like the hub in between those 3 cities too,
Right, and it's very convenient to squeeze us in on a tour for those types of bands that are playing those bigger venues but are nationally touring but aren't quite playing arenas or huge theaters and stuff like that.
Well, I just played a show in Meadville at Voodoo Brewery recently, and the band that was the headliner, they were actually the opener for a nationally touring band, and they came all the way from Indianapolis, Indiana, but the band that they were opening up for was on a bill in Buffalo, and they didn't put their band on it. And their next gig was in Greensville by Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So they came in Meadville, found a quick gig, probably played for $100 right out of Matt McRae's pocket, and then waited for the other band to finish their gig in Buffalo and come down and meet them in Greenville. That's just kind of how it is out here, man.
I will give, I'm not as familiar with the other venues, but I gotta give a lot of credit to the King's Rook Club. Like, they do a real good job of bringing in bands from different areas.
Shout out to Johnny.
That's right.
We're playing there the 22nd of this month, so next weekend. I think, next weekend we'll be down there. Just Royers opening up. Spades is coming in second, and Odd Atrocity is going to be closing it out. So
that'll be a fun show.
Yeah, 3 powerhouse women in the local Erie scene. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes playing too, but front women, you know? It's Shelby, Jess, and Cy, they're going to should be a real fun night, man.
Yeah. It's good to see that, and good that they're able to play there, you know what I mean, that they have that local watering hole, and it's a big enough venue that, like, a lot of people can come out and see it. Like, it's not 1,000 people or whatever, but fuck, dude, it's still awesome. And
also, Kings Rook Club fans, this is the last show of the indoor season. Then they're locking it up and we're going to the sandbar outside. So if you want that last experience of hanging out inside, you be there next weekend.
That's kind of, that's great, but also kind of sad because I love it inside.
Me too.
Both stages, dude. Upstairs and downstairs. Both are fucking great.
Before COVID, they kept it all open year round.
All the time.
But that dang old COVID-19 done took us out the game around here, man.
God damn it.
fuck. But their outdoor stage is great too. You know what I mean? It's just all.
Oh, yeah.
It just feels like home over there. That's like my home venue. Well,
For
they're
sure.
in Basement Transmissions and all those spots.
Bobby's a great guy, man.
Yeah, we had
love
him
Bobby.
on the show a while ago. It's just good to see
Oh,
that.
awesome.
Yeah. It's just good to see people putting on for our local people, you know what I mean? And all the like new promoters that have kind of just sprung out of nowhere that are getting gigs for bands and all that shit. It's just good.
Yeah, there's a few out here.
Yeah.
Keep it going, man.
Keep it rolling. Keep these musicians busy. Keep them paid. Keep them doing what they love. And I don't know, man. It's been about an hour. Ready to wrap this thing
Already?
up? Woo.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun with your
Right.
friends.
Hell yeah.
Dude. It's good to hang out down here. Thank you for coming and kicking it with us for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to our Patreon people. Make sure that you support local music. Come see KARANORMAL. It's going to sell out. I don't know when tickets are ever going to be on sale again, but just do it. Get them when they
Be
do.
there or be square.
That's right, my man. Thanks.
Although, I do want to point this out. We'd love to see you there in person. We want your energy. But you can stream it. You can buy to stream it. Isn't that correct?
No.
No, not anymore?
No.
Not until a while afterwards, and we're gonna make you wait. You'll be
Okay.
You'll be able to stream it eventually, but we're gonna make you suffer for like a month before you can actually watch it on
The
YouTube.
cool kids are going to be there for the show, so
Right.
you
Yeah.
might as well just come on down, y'all.
And by then, everybody's gonna already be telling you how amazing it is. So you're really just gonna want to stream it after that month because it's all anybody's gonna talk about.
Hell, y'all are going to be buying it on DVD eventually.
Yeah, boy. All right. Peace out, everybody. We love y'all. Thanks for coming down, Matt.
Sheesh.